gotta stop like praise, yeah. Stop and praise, there ain't 10 enough days. Teary-eyed with a smiling face, the praise you gave was already ordained. Stop and praise for keeping you in your lane. Give a praise for breaking off them chains. Before you let somebody steal your praise, think about the spirit in which they came. Think about the energy they gave. Is it worth it? Nope, never, no way. Kingdom we broke into a praise dance. I praise y'all for D4 hug daps. Praise Yahweh for the congregation, and I praise him for the angels, the elders, and all their dedication. See this truth, it'll cut you, heal you, it'll make or break you. This is a spiritual walk, it's a spiritual ride. Just don't despise the chastisement when you get chastised. You a son, not a bastard, right? You gon' get chastised. It's a spiritual ride, just vibe. Yeah, just vibe. We gon' ride. All praises to the Most High.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
Mercy on you, mercy on me. They say the truth has set you free. See prophecy been fulfilled for real. Now what the deal? We giving praise to the God of Israel. Cause it's real out here. People get killed out here. They robbing still out here. It's getting hard out here. The love of many wax cold from what I hear. But we back by the Most High, so who shall you feel? You gotta be bold and righteous to live. The flesh is seething and wicked. Sin deceiving is vicious. Repentance needed to fix it. His mercy too exquisite to miss it. Just proceed to listen. Let's stick to the mission. Believe and receive his blessing. You see, blessings come from above. None of us deserve it. None of us is worthy. But we praise y'all for his mercy.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do is stop and praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya, praise ya, praise ya.
We really gotta stop like praise, yeah. Stop and praise, there ain't 10 enough days. Teary-eyed with a smiling face, the praise you gave was already ordained. Stop and praise for keeping you in your lane. Give a praise for breaking off them chains. Before you let somebody steal your praise, think about the spirit in which they came. Think about the energy they gave. Is it worth it? Nope, never, no way. Kingdom we broke into a praise dance. I praise y'all for D4 hug daps. Praise Yahweh for the congregation, and I praise him for the angels, the elders, and all their dedication. See this truth, it'll cut you, heal you, it'll make or break you. This is a spiritual walk, it's a spiritual ride. Just don't despise the chastisement when you get chastised. You a son, not a bastard, right? You gon' get chastised. It's a spiritual ride, just vibe. Yeah, just vibe. We gon' ride. All praises to the Most High.
When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, hey, all I can do praise ya. When I think of your mercy and all that you've done for me, all I can do is stop and praise ya. Praise ya. Praise
Mercy,
ya.
mercy on you.
Shalom Facebook, Shalom YouTube. Welcome to our prophecy class. Today we're in the book of Revelation, chapter 6. But before we get started, does anyone have any questions? Yeah.
Came across 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 14 to 26. And during Sabbath class yesterday, and I was thinking about Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6 about knowing your own understanding. That's two different. One has nothing to do with the other.
Right.
So that's the answer.
Right. Well, I mean, look at what it says here in verse 26. And that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will. That's verse 26. What's that got to do with Proverbs?
Maybe it's asking for just confirmation.
It has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
He's talking about the devil here. Proverbs don't talk about the devil. And ain't anything close to it.
Because we got people here now that have their own ideas, like you calling on Yahuwah and whatever, stuff like that. If there hasn't, when people start using that name, Yahuwah, whatever that name is, have anything to do with,
This here about the devil?
yeah.
No.
I'm talking about like influence from the devil.
Because they don't use Yahweh's name, that is of the devil then, huh? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's what I want to ask, so if it's right. I don't want to
Well,
take it.
call on another God. Now that's something different than calling on another name. Now, if you calling on the true name, if you think that that's the true name, it has all the attributes that we've Yahweh's given to himself, then that's not of the devil. You're just calling by a different name.
Right.
Right? So the devil got you worshiping idols and images. Okay, it's not the same thing.
Not the same.
Yeah.
It's Proverbs is talking about the devil.
It's not the same instant that 2 Timothy.
He's talking about in Proverbs 7,
What did it say?
talking about the black woman. Being loud and stubborn.
I knew that was it.
See, and you want to know why black people hate Trump. Yeah, man.
I'm backing off what Brother Elder Joseph was asking. Now, when using a different name, it wouldn't fall under the deception of the devil. Okay, you might be worshiping the same Elohim, but using a different name. Does that fall under the deception of the devil? Because he knows that there's the power in the name. And that name, the other name, doesn't bring the same power. Because like I say, for a couple of years when I first got the Seventh Bible, I tried it just to see if the name if it makes sense. And like I said, my prayers got off and everything got out of whack, so I just used the right name. But I experimented with in my prayers with that name, but that name doesn't have the same power, doesn't have the same weight, you know what I mean? So would that be deception of the devil to where, okay, you used another name, even though Elohim knows you're worshiping him and keeping laws and commandments, but it doesn't have the same power, the same effect, you know, and you know, and it can lead you in different ways because, like I said, I see a lot of brothers that do that. There's certain things that they're not doing as far as the Torah goes, but maybe they don't understand, maybe they got to understanding yet, you know, they're just young, whatever, but.
Well, let me ask you this. Say, for instance, we're using Yahweh's name, and then there's another camp down the road using Yahweh's name, but they don't do all the things that we do.
Right.
Is that of the devil?
No.
Let me read you something here in Zechariah 14.
Okay.
Zechariah 14 and verse 9, it says, and Yahweh shall be king over all the earth in that day. Shall there be one Adonai and his name one. So they had controversy with his name back in these days. So it's no surprise that we have a controversy now. Yeah, so it wasn't, but you can't say that that's of the devil. It's just, as time goes, languages evolve and pronunciations change. So that's what's going on now. If the Spirit is still moving them to keep the law, and all the rest of the law, the holy days and the feast days and all the cleanliness laws, then the name is not the name itself, it's the Spirit that's moving them to do it. Okay? But you can't say that's of the devil.
Okay.
Right?
So,
When the devil, like I say, the devil has you breaking all the commandments and feel no guilt. The devil puts you into the things of the world. Right, so the white man's God is the God of the world. So anybody worship him, they are the world.
okay, so let's go from Yahweh to Yahshua. Those that are using different names for Yahshua, does it still apply the same way? Like with some camps that say Jesus, but they're still keeping the laws and the commandments and keeping the holy days, and you know what I mean? So does that apply the same? You know?
Well, you do have the Seventh-day Adventists that do that, right? And that was started by a Gentile woman. So I forgot her name.
Ellen G. Walker.
Helen, yeah.
No, but they didn't keep the holy days. I used to, when I was in Christianity, I
Not,
started learning. I
there
started
are
going to Seventh-day
there
Adventist
are
churches,
congregations that do keep
and
the
they
holidays.
were still keeping Easter and all the other stuff. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Not all of them are the same.
Okay.
Right. So again, would you say that Jehovah's Witness, Seventh-day Adventists are worshiping the devil, and yet keeping his command, Yahweh's commandments?
I don't know, because the ones I went to, they weren't. Only thing they kept was the Sabbath. They weren't keeping nothing else.
Well,
That was my experience. Of it.
yeah, I know, but that's just one particular place you were going to, right?
I went to a couple of Seventh-day Adventist places.
But the Seventh-day Adventist is international,
Right.
right? So not all the congregations are going to be the same, right? You got some in the islands, right? Some on the West Coast, and they do things differently in some places, all right? So again, you can't attribute that to the devil. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think you were saying, Elder, an Israelite camp that calls on Jesus. That's what he said initially.
Well, now you're talking about IUIC.
That's what you said
Yeah,
initially.
I'm using that.
That's what it
as
Well,
said.
if they're doing that, they still keeping the commandments, it's because Yahweh don't want his name coming out their mouth. They ain't got nothing to do with the devil. Yeah. So we know why they use Jesus' name, because it makes money.
Yeah.
You can't make money on Yahshua's name. Right. So it's basically a business move. They know the name, they know the true name, but they got to make that money. So they use Jesus.
So, Elder, do that fall under worshiping in vain? As like Esau, some of Esau keep the commandments, and then some of them use the name, but they keep the holy days. But is that worshiping in vain? It's the same as that. Is that considered that, or is it something else?
Yeah, since their obituary's already been written, what's the point? Look at how the Mashiach treated King Herod, not Herod, the Tetrarch. Right? He wanted the Mashiach to say something, or tell him some kind of wisdom before they crucified him. He didn't say a word to him. What's the point? So that's a good example of how you should treat these people. Don't say nothing to them. Let's ignore them. Because you already know what the end is going to be. Nothing you can do to edify their life. So ignore them.
With Ashkenazis, I done heard some say that they're not the biblical Israelites and Jews, you know what I mean?
None of them
They
are.
convert. So do they have a chance to repent and come into the truth, or their destination the same as with the rest of Esau and them? I mean,
Now, we're talking about Esau's seed.
right.
Now, those are Gentiles, right? Pretending to be us, or want to be us. But they're religious converts, yeah. But what's your question about them?
Well,
Do they do that in vain?
I mean, yeah, on the same thing he was asking because some I've heard some Ashkenazi whatever you call them, people say that they're not the biblical Israelites, they're converts, but that still was going to happen to Esau for pretending to be us? Does that still apply to them, or do they have a chance to repent and come back and then serve us? You know what I mean? Do they have a chance to change from that? You know what I mean?
Well, again, they're Gentiles, right? So they have a better chance of salvation than the Edomites. Like, even though they don't know no better.
Yeah.
But it ain't like they're purposely breaking Yahweh's law. Now, those people are going to come into judgment. Because Ashkenazi, as long as they're keeping the law, how can they judge, Yahweh judge against them? Right? But again, they misidentified themselves, so actually they're blaspheming. Yeah, so it's not the kind of blasphemy that can never be forgiven, though. But they say they're Jews and are not, but synagogue is Satan. Yeah. Anybody else?
So there's no sense in speaking to them either.
Hmm?
So there's no sense in speaking to them either.
Treat them the
So
same.
there's no sense in speaking to Ashkenazis either.
No, they're not Jews. And I think they're just not finding out, too. Heartbreaking. All right. Again, we are in the book of Revelation in chapter 6. Now, in chapter 5, just to follow up along with what we were about to talk about in chapter 6, he that sat upon the throne had a book of 7 seals. And no one could be found that was worthy to open up the 7 seals except the Lamb of Elohim. And he came and took the 7 seals out of the hand of he that sat upon the throne. And again, my question is, with that aside, who is that sitting on the throne? Now look, don't answer, because I want to relate that to the fact that these Christians are calling Jesus God now. Well, he's God. Who's that sitting on the throne? See what I'm saying? It does not make sense. Now, if you go up in Psalm 45, you see, well, God has a God. But they can't explain who that is sitting on the throne. And the Lamb coming out of his throne. How can they explain that? He's supposed to be God. He's supposed to create heaven and earth. Well, who is this guy? See what I'm saying? It does not make sense. The religion does not make sense. They just say first thing come on their mind. So it's just like it's an emotional attachment to Jesus. So they rationalize that he's all this, but he's more. Right? So they put more attributes on him to the point where now he's God. But they can only attribute to him being a God to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1. They don't go no further than verse 1. He said, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. And they stop right there. So they say, that's Jesus right there. Yeah. But that's the emotional attachment to that name precludes any actual reading and understanding of what's actually written in the book. So we can see that. We can see anybody call on a Greek god, they don't know what the book is actually saying. So that's why you might have some Gentile guy walking around with Bible in their hand, just breaking it down. Now this is that. Yeah, but I never hear you mention Israel. None of the time. I mean, you know Paul backwards and forwards, but you never mention Israel. And that's the flaw that they have. Them Christian pastors and preachers, that's the flaw that they have. They never mention Israel. So they don't need to pay attention. It don't matter if they got a degree in theology, a master's in some seminary school. It doesn't matter. First of all, you're not the people of the book, and your education is not what's going to save you. You may act like you know something, but how is that going to save you?
Yeah, there's about 2 of them that preaches that doctrine, that eschatology doctrine, like Hagee and a couple of them. And they mention Israel, but in a different sense, not really know who Israel really is. So they
think the people over there in land is Israel.
That's what they think.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, the eschatology doctrine that they preaching now. You know, he's like one of the big ones.
See, referring.
But they talk about Israel.
Yeah.
But they don't know who Israel. They really don't know who Israel is.
As far as John Hagee is concerned, he know who Israel is. The thing about that, are they? And I've been hearing this also. Are they referring to the scenario in Zechariah 12 and Zechariah 14, where all the armies of the world come up against Jerusalem?
Mm-hmm.
So they equate that with what's going on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
More end-time prophecy
You,
type.
you know what?
Yeah.
Otis, maybe you heard that, but John Hagee, he say the Jews. He don't deal with Israel. He say the Jews. We got to protect the Jews. We got to send money. You know, he got this thing going on, send money. He don't say nothing about no Israelites. No, he
Not like Israelite. He said Israel. He'll say Israel.
He'll say
Israelite.
the only thing Israel come out of his mouth, he talking about the land. He's not talking about the people. He say the Jews, but it's 11 more tribes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
him.
that's Christianity for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was him and Perry Stone. Cause I used to listen to Perry Stone back in the day. But when he said something against him, one day, this like 8 years ago, they shut him down.
I wonder what happened to him.
They shut him down because he said something against Israel, the ones that's over there now. Now, fast forward, he don't change the doctrine.
Yeah, he want to make some money.
Now he is for them, and he going to the land over there talking about, yeah, we gotta do this. But he said something about 8 years ago, and about the Pope, and saying all this, like what we believe, and they shut him down. I don't know what they did to him. They shut him down. That's all of a sudden he disappeared for a second.
Yeah.
Now he's back.
He's back now.
Doing like Hagee, the eschatology stuff. Yeah, so.
Well, we want to make that money. Can't talk about the Jews.
Yeah. They do something to get them scared, though.
Sometimes they might give them offer they can't refuse.
Well, it shows you their power.
Yeah.
That they can take a Gentile and shut him down. Ain't a damn thing he can do about it.
That's right.
And these white folks see that. But they won't talk about it. Because they're scared of them Jews. We ain't got nothing to be scared of. They ain't got nothing to shut down. So, Esau, I know what's going to happen to you, buddy. You touch Yahweh's anointed. Yeah. Is there any more questions? Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started.
We're at 7.
No, chapter 6.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Revelation, I think my voice is a little better today.
Well, we'll praise y'all, Steve.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the 4 beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
Now, there's only one other time that we hear that a beast is talking. That was that ass during the time of Balaam and the children of Israel. Ass talking to the master. Now we got some more beasts talking here. Only difference is the ass is, in numbers, is terrestrial. These beasts are celestial.
Okay.
Right, so that's the difference. Go ahead, Stephen. So he says, and I saw and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Well, again, we know that that's the Christian Crusades that came around the 11th and 13th centuries. So that would be that first seal of that white horse. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
Now we know this is talking about the Muslims and their jihad. They fight amongst each other and they fight all over the world. Look at what Iran is doing, shooting missiles at her friends. They're so pissed off because America and Israel, them Edomites, bombing the hell out of them. And so they just throw missiles everywhere. Even though they're running out of ammunition, they're shooting at Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and all the rest of the Muslim countries. Yeah, so they did have the ability to shut down the whole world. That's why Trump went over there and blew them up, because they enriched that uranium, and so they would be a threat to all the nations of the earth, and they don't even give a damn. So that's who these people are. The second seal, that's the Muslims. And notice they say carried a large sword. They used to use a large sword to cut people's heads off, right? And so they kill each other. So that would be the Muslim jihad.
Yeah,
But keep in mind now, this was written in AD in 96. So what we're reading about now, that all this has occurred, but it hadn't occurred at the time this was being written. So we can look at it in hindsight. Okay, well that was the Christian Crusades is number one, the Muslim jihad number two, right? I see somebody's hand go up. Yeah.
You just said Iran. I know a lot of. I've seen some camps saying. I watched videos of some camps saying talk about Iran. I'm not saying that they're Muslim. They saying that they are Persia, ancient Persia. So I was wondering, like, okay, are they? I know they Muslim, it's a Muslim country, but they were saying that that's Persia.
Yeah, no.
Persia, they still fall in the
Originally, it was Persia.
Yeah.
Until the Shah of Iran got in office, he changed the name to Iran. Right. So yeah, all that time up to, I think it's up to the 1950s.
Okay.
When the Shah changed the name, from back in the early days, it was always Persia, and I think they spoke Farsi, the language that they spoke back in the days.
Okay.
And so when the Muslims came in, they changed everything.
Okay.
And so forced the people to accept Islam. All the while before Islam came on the scene, they were, the Persians were more, just like us. I mean, they had the freedom to do a lot of things, own businesses and everything. So when the Muslims took over, they shut everything down. So now they made themselves a danger to the rest of the nations because of their radical views of Islam. That's why you got the Sunnis and the Shias. Yeah, they fight each other all the time, but nevertheless, they're interested in world domination. Right. So you hear it on the news, especially up in New York. Well, Mondani's mayor of New York, he's a Muslim, right? Well, he says Muslims gonna take over America. Hey. Don't you notice how they have different Muslim parts of the city, and they take up a lot of space. They build huge ornate buildings, and I think it's up in Michigan or Minnesota that when it comes to call to prayer, they blast that thing all over the city. And people, and they do this 5 times a day, and people that are getting pissed off about this. But they say they don't hide it no more. Say, yeah, we're taking over America. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Which must mean that some politicians are getting paid. Yeah. Because nobody in their right mind would let these people in your land. Look at over there in Great Britain, in the United Kingdom. You can't say nothing against a Muslim. It's against the law to say anything against a Muslim.
That's right.
So they succeeded in elevating themselves above white men. What happened, white folks?
You know, Ed, I saw Mom Donnie when he was at the White House with Trump. Trump was kind of passive with it.
Yeah.
He didn't say much.
Yeah.
That dude was sitting Trump was sitting at the desk and he was sitting right beside him. He was telling Trump what his plans were in New York. Trump just, Trump he'll just blow off on you in a minute.
Yeah.
But he real passive with that Muslim. I couldn't believe that. I didn't expect him to cuss him out or nothing like that. But Trump, New York, that's his territory. That's where he made all his money, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was it. I was kind of shocked at that.
Yeah, well, we don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that apple juice, Sean? I wish I had some apple juice. No. I want Sean's apple juice.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you got two of the seals open, right? You got the Crusades and you got the Muslim Jihad. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
The terminology, the words that are used here, seemed a little strange to me. Because I know a penny is not, they didn't call it a penny back in the days, they call it a denarius, right? But still, it says, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. That still looks a little out of balance. Because we discovered that what he's talking about here, first of all, it is European Union. But in verse 6, it says, I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Now, these are famine prices. But the only way you would know that this was famine pricing is you look up that word penny. It has 2 definitions. One is a denarius, and a penny equals out to 10 mules.
Mules?
10 mules. So what you now you can read this. It says a measure of wheat for 10 mules. That's a lot. That's overpriced. And 3 measures of barley for 10 mules. And a barley, animals, these are animals, and you trade that in for a measure of barley. Again, those are famine prices. So overpaying a whole lot because of the shortage of supply and demand. And so that now it makes sense. It balances out that you're overpaying for stuff you didn't overpay for. So again, it'd be a time kind of like what we're in now. All the prices going up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't know when this thing gonna revert to normal. It may not. It may. I mean, it may grow and grow and grow, man, until you can't control it. Yeah.
But when it says hurt not the oil and wine, that means the wine price is not going up.
Yeah.
Wine price is gonna stay low.
They're going up now.
I'm saying like it means if people drink their problems away, like the wine stay low. So it said hurt not the oil and wine. When I read that, it's like the wine price is not gonna go up.
The wine is more symbolic of religion,
Okay.
right? What do you say?
No, I said religious doctrine.
Oh, okay, yeah. So as far as that's concerned, when he says the wine, it's not talking about actual wine. It's talking about religion. If you remember in Isaiah 29, it says, these people are not drunk on wine or strong drink, right? So we figure that must be religion. And so this is the same thing here. This wine is referring to religion. Okay? Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Revelation chapter 6.
Religious doctrine. Forgive me, go ahead.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 7. And when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth.
Now this will be the revived Roman Empire. And this is where they're going to be ruling. If you want to eat, you got to take that name, number, and mark. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 9. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Elohim and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Yahweh, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled.
Now, this, remember now what John the Revelator is at this point of the vision. He's up in heaven. Right? So he's seeing right here, it says in verse 9, and when they opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Elohim and for the testimony which they held. Now, their altar is up in heaven also. So it's not the altar for sacrificing animals, but when it talks about those that were killed for the testimony, for the word of Elohim and the testimony, this was talking about during the time of the Roman Empire, when they were the Jews were taken to the Colosseum and gladiators killed them, the wild beasts killed them, just for the entertainment. But it was all because they were in competition with the Caesar, because the Caesars wanted to be worshipped as gods. So they were worshiping Yahweh, and so these people were slain because of the word of Elohim, and so it's not bodies up there. This is talking about blood. Blood is the life of all flesh, right? So we look at Cain and Abel. Yahweh asked Cain, "Where's your brother?" He said, "My brother's keeper." He said, "I heard his voice out of the dirt of the ground." So the blood is alive until it's talking. Yahweh hear the blood talking. So this is the blood around the altar up in heaven. It's still alive. And so that blood up in heaven is saying, how long will it be before you take vengeance on those that slew us, right? And then he says here, in verse 11, and white robes were given unto every one of them, and it was said unto them that they should rest there for a little while, season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were, should be fulfilled. So he's saying, it's some more y'all gonna die. But you're looking at the 9 tribes that are still scattered around the world. They're going to be under that one world order, right? So their life going to be a prey for them. So those are the ones that are going to die. They're going to be fulfilled. That's going to die. But as far as we're concerned, the house of Judah out there in that wilderness, there's going to be a lot of people dying out there. Mm-hmm. But it won't be for the same reason. It'll be for the reason of being rebellious and transgressing. So as far as the resurrection is concerned, those people that die under that beast, they're probably raised back up. But those people that die in that wilderness, it don't look good. And even the ones that take the name, number, mark, they're not going to be raised back up. So the people in the wilderness are not going to be raised back up because they died for their own iniquities. These people died because they were under that one world order. That's a great tribulation they were under. Mm-hmm. They refused to take that name, number, mark. They refused to worship that beast, that man. And so they died for the cause. So y'all was going to raise them back.
With the white robe be symbolic as well?
Yeah, righteousness.
Righteousness, because I know you're saying that the soul means the blood, right? So
right.
When you get it on the white robe, that means just righteousness.
Right. Remember, I think Zach mentioned that in the wedding feast class yesterday. Mm-hmm. Yeah. the father asked the guest, why aren't you properly attired?
Right.
He couldn't answer. So he kicked him out the wedding, and he said that would be gnashing of teeth, weeping and gnashing of teeth, right? So that wedding garment was that righteousness. So he proved that yesterday by going to Revelation 19, right, where the bride is preparing herself to be married, and she was there with she was clothed in linen, and she was there with the saints, and her attire was righteousness. So again, it's not necessarily talking about clothing, but it's talking about you understand what you're dealing with, that this is the righteousness of Yahweh. Okay, so this is the same thing here. These white robes, that's doing the same thing. That's that righteousness, because they died for a good cause. Right. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind.
Mm-hmm.
And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captain, and the mighty men, and every bond man, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?
Well, that's not the Messiah. That's not him. Yeah.
Even though this is not the Messiah, does this seal anyway lines up with the seventh trumpet and the seventh vial in a way? Or like right before, like in that area?
That would be before the Great Tribulation, before the vial, the trumpets and the vial. This would be before that.
Before the trumpets and vials get poured out, any one of them? Okay.
It won't start till this happens.
Okay.
Now, you know who this is coming out of heaven, right?
Satan.
The cloud scrolled away. Well, that would be Satan getting kicked out of heaven. And you notice they didn't see who it was, did they? They just said he that sat upon the throne, and the Mashiach and the wrath of the Lamb come upon us. So it's trying to hide, right? Well, now when we see the actual wording of when the Mashiach shows up in Revelation 19, he got a bunch of crowns on his head. You don't see that in here nowhere, right? Then we go into Matthew chapter 24, when you see it going to show up. Look what he says in verse 27. It says, for as the lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, there will the eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the power of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So you're going to see him when he comes out the cloud. But it didn't say that was him in chapter 6, when the seal was open. It didn't say they saw anybody. They just saw the clouds part away. They thought that was him.
So
right?
Revelation 6:14 and Mashiach.
That's not him. It says, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it was rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So it's going to be something catastrophic when Satan get kicked out of heaven. And also it says in verse 13, it says, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken up with mighty wind. Well, that'll be the devils coming out of heaven too. All those unclean spirits up in heaven, these are the ones that be kicked out of heaven. Now, when Satan gets kicked out of heaven, knowing he can't come back, that's when they're going to get into that pope. declare themselves God, because they finally get somebody to worship him. Yeah. Yeah, man.
So the king, so when it says the kings and the great men, so in a way they kind of believe, even though they're doing their own thing, that Yahshua's gonna return one day.
Right.
But when this happens, they gonna probably think, oh,
They gonna do what?
I mean, they'll probably think like, oh, well, all this just happening with the heavens and he ain't come, he might not be real, and they go keep, that's why we go through that, they never repent, because they figure like, all this happening, he ain't showed up, you know what I mean, 'cause they didn't see nothing, okay, now we can keep doing what we doing, because he obviously shows that it ain't real, so that's why they keep asking, keep doing what they're doing through the seals and the trumpets, because he never showed up right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So they were looking for him, but he didn't come when they seen that event.
Now,
They tricked him.
you have to look at the timeline on this also.
Yeah.
Now, this is the sixth seal, but the sixth seal hasn't happened yet, right? And the fifth seal hasn't happened yet. And we're looking at the revival, Roman Empire, all that's in sequence with each of the seals. Now, it says that we see that is the devil coming out, being kicked out of heaven, but it's also coincides with America being destroyed. Because when America is destroyed, it's going to cause a tsunami all over the world. And it just so happens we'll be getting up out of here as America falls. And that tsunami, well, that falls into Revelation 12, where the devil spews water out of his mouth, trying to overturn those boats. But the earth's going to open up her mouth and swallow up that water. So again, that would be America being destroyed. And we on them boats getting up out of America. It's going to shake the whole world. Right? So I'm looking at the timeline on this thing here. So you got the 7 years, 3.5 years of Great Tribulation cannot start until Satan get kicked out of heaven for good. And he come and dwell upon a man so that people can worship him as a God. That's why he can look like he can do all those great miracles, cause fire to come out of the sky. So, but that's Satan.
But they're gonna think it's the Mashiach.
No, because he's gonna be in that temple in Jerusalem saying he's God. Right? So, being that he's God, then the way Christians think, they look at him, but that's the Antichrist right there. But that's not what the book calls her. It calls him the false prophet. So, being a false prophet, it makes more sense calling him the false prophet because of the great miracles he's going to be doing. Right? But the Antichrist is someone that does not believe that Christ has a father, that he's the Son of God. That's the biblical definition of Antichrist. But they want to tie that thing to damn near the devil himself. The Antichrist is coming. The Antichrist is coming. But John said there are many Antichrists. So what you going to do with them? And so these are the people that don't believe that the Father has a son. That's a classic definition of Antichrist.
You know, when you talk to Christians, based on the two things come out of their mouth, do you believe in the Trinity? And do you think the Antichrist is coming?
Really?
Yeah. You talk about the Antichrist, and I'm like, who are you talking about?
Yeah. Well,
They putting that like on singular. He, the Antichrist.
Yeah.
He got a title. He's the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, Elder, so Satan gonna get into the Pope. That's we gonna go over there and say he's God.
Mm-hmm.
Where will the imposters be at then? Would they still be in the land then?
Who?
The imposters.
Imposters?
Our brother, yeah.
Yeah, they'll be under that one world order,
So
but they'll be in
under-
cahoots with the Catholic Church
Okay,
and Moab and Ammon.
okay. Cause
Right.
I'm wondering, cause me and Deep was talking the other day. Them people strange, cause that they got them like a new oil field or something over there that they didn't opened up. And you
What,
know
in
what
Israel?
They named it, yeah.
Oh,
They named it Leviathan. I mean, like,
I'm
if,
sure they were
if these
shocked.
people
I'm
look
sure.
at what the book is saying and what these people is saying, they would know they can't be the people. Why would Israel name something Leviathan?
Yeah.
That don't make sense.
That ain't Israel.
I hear you, man.
Exactly.
What's going on now? I don't know. This is what I'm seeing. It looks like when we come out that wilderness, it looks like it's gonna be more Muslims in the land. Like they might not technically be in the land at that time. You know what I mean? We have to see what go on the next few weeks. You know, especially when Juma gets over with. You know, because they finna really go ham when I feel they go ham when Juma's over with. Not Juma. Ramadan's
It's
over
already over with.
Huh?
It's over.
It's over with. It was over with. Friday, Thursday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but with that being done, like, it seems like it's gonna be more Muslims in the land, cause there's a lot of them, they're right now in the land, that even if they still there, we still have to fight a lot of Muslims too, that when we go to take the land. It's like, there's a lot of them there now, it's not like there might be more, because they tearing Israel, they tearing that part where the apostles, they're tearing them apart right now, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's gonna be, I just see the way I'm looking at it going, it seems like we're gonna have to deal with more Muslims than with them.
There
The whole Mount of Olives is all Muslim. You know what I mean?
there are nearly 3 billion Christians in the earth. It's not about 1.8 billion Muslims. But they're the Antichrist. So they're not going to be in the kingdom anyway. They might be the military arm of the Catholic Church to enforce the name, number, mark. If you don't take the name, number, mark, they're going to kill you. Right? So they're going to be in that one world order in the capacity of enforcing that one world order law. Because they both get what they want. The Muslims finally get world domination along with the Pope. That's what it's been its goal all along too. So they're working hand in hand with each other, right? So, but after the Mashiach returns, all the Muslims are going to die. They won't be part of the kingdom, right? So they got the role to play, and so we know what the end is going to be. It's not going to be any religious people in the land, especially Islam. That's going to be gone. Did you have your hand up, man?
Yes, sir. Then at one point when one of those popes passed or was retired something, they was talking about replacing him with a cardinal that practiced Islam.
What is it?
He said when one of the popes passed, he was asking you, they had
Bury him in what?
they had a cardinal that wanted to
Practice Islam.
practice Islam.
Cost of what?
And when one of the popes
Yeah,
passed,
they had mentioned him as being the next pope, but he was Christian and Islam.
What pope was this?
I didn't forget his name. He was a black guy from Africa.
Oh.
You remember what
Was
I'm
this a
talking
guy
about?
that they had on the short list to be the new
Yeah,
pope?
yeah.
And he backed out of it too, right?
Yeah.
So he believed in Islam and Catholicism?
Yeah. That's what I was, with the Catholicism is what I was just about to say. With Islam, Christianity and Islam is the same thing. Because both of them want to die and go to heaven and do their thing in heaven. You know.
Yeah, well, realistically, though, they got two different doctrines about what happens when you die.
Yeah.
Now, if you die in the cause of Allah, then you're going to go to paradise and have 70 women. Virgins.
Yeah.
Virgins, right?
Yeah.
So, 70?
Is it 70?
Yeah, that's the last I heard. It might be 72 by now.
oh,
That's a lot of enticement, man. So these will be 70 virgins that if you die in the cause of Allah, yeah, them virgins are gonna be yours. And the beautiful thing about these virgins is that once you get through with them, they become virgins again. But you're gonna have the stamina to handle it.
God,
Yeah. So do you see why the people want to be Muslim so bad? So I guess they don't have any virgins down here on earth, so they have to wait till they go to paradise and find them a virgin.
So what's the incentive
Huh?
for the women Muslim then? What's their incentive?
They're trying to figure that out now. Because Because they always about the men. And nobody asks the question, what about the women? What do they get? I ain't heard a straight answer yet. And so all I know is about the men gonna have 70 virgins and live in paradise.
So when you look at this thing, even over in Europe and America, it's not about those Muslim that Catholic churches. It's about the Muslim. They raging war against these Protestants. Basically, that's what you got, right?
Well, yeah, the Pope, the Catholic Church is in cahoots with the Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
If you know the similarities in both religions, in Catholicism they carry around the beads.
Mm-hmm.
The Muslims do the same thing. So, and plus you got, I forgot the name of that church in one of the land of the Muslims, but it's a Catholic church. And they respect it.
Okay.
Right? And then when the Pope has some great gathering, he always invite the Muslims along.
Mm-hmm.
You ever notice all the Muslims show up at the Catholic Church?
Mm-hmm.
The Muslims come out of the Catholics.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
They're
So
brutal.
that is a relationship then
Yeah, right.
within Islam and the Catholic Church. Because the Catholic Church created Islam.
Right.
So that's why they're so in cahoots with one another. Yeah.
I saw Pope John when he was, I guess I want to use it, inaugurated or whatever. They had Muslims in a circle around that man.
Right.
You think the Jesuits would have been around, but they had Muslims around him.
Same thing with this last Pope. What's his name? Pope Francis.
Francis, yeah.
Pope Francis. Yeah, he at one of his gatherings he had a bunch of Muslims around him too. So I'm looking at that also. But when it comes to that one world order, they're going to enforce the law. The Muslims either do it or get your head chopped off.
Yo.
Yeah.
That go back to the big sword.
Say that again.
That go back to the big sword up there, right?
Yeah. The second seal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so again, that's what they're known for. They're going to take peace from the earth. They've already done it. Like I said, with Iran, they blowing up everybody over there. So they pissed off because they can't do nothing with America. So they kill their own neighbors. Go ahead, bro.
So, Elder, quick question. So, we will be up under the fourth seal now? Or,
No,
or like the union?
no. Why you say the fourth seal?
Because I was looking at, well, I know the first one, let's see, so we already got the Christian Crusade, the Islamic Jihad, now the European Union. That's all. So we passed the European Union, see that seal, right?
Yeah, that'll be the third seal.
Mm-hmm. So the fourth seal, the revived Holy
That'll be the
Roman.
revived Roman Empire.
So that isn't here yet. That's
No,
Okay.
no. America has to fall first, because America's a big dog, and can't nobody do nothing with her. And so once she's out the way, now you can form a one world order. Because you got a president that's gonna fight you tooth and nail before you become part of one world order.
That's right.
You don't mind pulling a gun on you either.
Because I tell people a lot of time, America, even though they helped structure and build some of the one world order, you know, but that's why the first Bush got put out of office because he wanted the one world currency then. And they got rid of him because they wanted our own money. That one thing he was pushing, one world currency and new world order. The George Bush father, first
yeah.
Bush, he was pushing that new world order. They helped develop it, but I tell people there's no freedoms, no rights, no voting in the new world order. America cannot be part of that. She got to go because you ain't gonna have no freedoms, no rights, no freedom of speech, no voting. None of that in the new world order. It's not gonna go down.
Right.
So she got to go. Like you serve your purpose, help develop it, but you're not gonna be part of it because your people are too ingrained in freedom. Ain't no freedoms in the new world order.
Right. I
Good,
know.
good point.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can't have America around with their freedoms
Nah.
and all unpacking. So you can't have one world order like that. So America got to go. Simple as that.
When you see the ads that are written on the Deacon did yesterday, man.
Uh-huh.
Said the ads written on Deacon did yesterday, Deacon Young and Deacon Estes. You talk about what they're talking about, man.
Yeah, I can't wait till they send me a copy of it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Tell me.
The 5.
Yeah. They did part 1.
I know. I said there may be two more parts.
They said a series on.
A series.
Yeah.
Let's get it rolling then.
Yeah, man.
Yes, dear.
So Elder, you know what the theme is for the World Cup that's coming in a few months? Do you know
What the theme is?
Yeah.
No, I do not.
One world, one goal.
It's gonna get rolled up anyway. It's gonna get
Well, I
rolled up
mean,
anyway.
Yes, one world, one goal.
it don't surprise me.
That's the theme for it.
It don't surprise me. You remember a few years ago, not a few years ago, several years ago, they had a song out saying, "We are the world. We are the future." So we're talking about the same mindset of people wanting one world order. They want peace, but you can't have a one world order and have the freedoms that America has.
Nah.
No, it ain't gonna work. Because everybody got an opinion. If you don't like what the government says, you can speak against the government. You can't do that with one world order. You might die. Yeah.
I was doing some research the other day, and I came across. It made me think about what you just said as far as America don't have to be on the scene. Actually, all America has to be gone for the rest of the world to come up on that one world order, because America, Mexico, Guatemala got this right to bear arms. That's only three countries in the world that are able to have their own arms. All the other countries, you got to either be military or you got to have some money to bear arms. So everybody on this side of the world will have to go, because you got people that gonna sit up and fight. They got means of way to fight. That's the reason they don't want to invade America, Mexico, all that, because you got people behind every door that's a gun. So I'm gonna say every door, but majority of the doors, they're gonna go behind people got guns. But in these other countries, they're not able to, they got swords and stuff like that, but they're not able to have, guns that we have over here. So if they get rid of America, Mexico, Central America and all that, they can control the rest of the world.
Well, once the trumpets and the vials are poured out during 3.5 years, that's going to be the signal to the end of America and South America. So that's why we got to get up. That's another reason we got to get up out of here. So that's going to come, because it's talking about one of the trumpets, a third of everything is going to be burned up. A third of the trees, third of the ships. So I'm looking at the world divided up: North America, Central America, and South America. That's 1/3, and then you got Europe and parts of Africa is another third. Then you got the Middle East and Asia, all over that. That's another third. So looking at how the lands are divided up. So I'm looking at what you're saying, that over this side of the world, you can carry guns. And that's one of the things the Democrats do not like, for you to have your own gun. So they pass laws against gun owners, like the criminals gonna obey that law. They don't pay no attention to no law. They're criminals. So it's just a waste of time. But again, it's a scheme to take all the guns out of America. You're not taking any white folk guns.
Nah.
Sorry.
Ain't gonna happen.
Now, I remember one year they had a gun confiscation in Atlanta. All the black people brought their guns. Y'all remember that? Yeah.
They do it about once a year.
Do they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, WAOK. Don't WAOK, when it was around, I guess it's still around, they tell them, send your guns in, they give you a little money. Elder Yaakov used to say that's the dumbest thing. Say white people buying guns and y'all giving y'all guns back.
I think they were getting ball game tickets or something.
Yeah.
Baseball game tickets or something.
Why do we have to be so easy?
You just dumb.
Damn, man. Why don't you use a little common sense?
Then they have warrants out. So the ones that come to give up the guns for that little cash, they checking you out as you fall out of line. If there's a warrant for you, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
But you need, being so-called black, you need a gun for your own people. I ask them brothers all the time, y'all don't have them guns for white people. Brother told me, he said, yes, we do. No, you don't. You got those guns to protect yourself in your own neighborhood.
That's right.
Because you've been invaded by your people.
Right.
White people don't give a damn about you. They try to stay from around. You got those guns to protect you from other black people.
And you ain't coming in no white neighborhood with no gun either.
No.
So they will call 911 on you. Because you're a suspicious character. Look like somebody just robbed the bank or something. That's what the police say. You look like somebody we're looking for. Go ahead, Steve.
Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Now, how is it that a globe has corners?
Right.
It's a geometric figure. It's a circle. A circle does not have corners. But this here says, after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth. So biblically, the earth is flat. But scientifically, the earth is round. Well, how can they justify this verse here? That the earth has got corners. So this doesn't have anything to do with science and technology. This is actual the way things are. But people don't want to accept it because they've been lied to for so long. It just seems natural to believe that the earth is round. Then you got it's being reinforced by these space shows and TV shows about outer space, and they're always looking back at the earth, that the earth is round. As a matter of fact, you see what they call planets. They are all 360 degrees. How is that possible, white folk? I mean, ain't there a chance that some of them may not be 360? They are complete circles.
And you know what the argument I don't see some people make? They talking about when they look at the moon and look at the sun, it's round, so the earth must be round too. That's what they say. When they look up in the sky, they see the moon and they see the sun. It's a round circle, like, so they say the earth must be round too. That's one of the arguments.
Are these college educated people?
They be someone be college educated.
But you know, they started to shut people down that saying the sun and the moon are the same size. They started people coming outside that saying that they're shutting them people down, getting at them folks like, you know, they're saying the sun and the moon are the same size.
Why would they shut them down?
Because to tell the truth, the sun's
It goes
supposed
against
to be so big, you know what I mean? And they saying the sun and the moon's the same size. It's like, hold on, you finna throw a monkey wrench in our lives we've been telling. Because the sun's supposed to be so big, you know what I mean? And then the moon's supposed to be this size. But the people coming out, like, look at them and measure, they do geometry, or what is the, geometry, they're the same size. They start to say the moon and the sun are the same size, but those way they doctor about the sun being so big, and this planet this big, and this far and that far. You know what I mean?
Have they measured the sun?
You know, they lie. They say the lie, the sun is so big. You know what I mean? The sun's supposed to be so big, and then the earth, and then the moon. You know what I mean? But the moon and the sun are the same size. That means the earth is bigger than the sun. You see what I'm saying? The earth is bigger than the moon. But, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right. So they start shutting people down, and people start coming saying, no, the sun and the moon are about the same size. And they're like, hold on, that's gonna break. That's tearing our lives down. We've been teaching y'all that the sun is so big, and then the planets, and you know what I mean.
Well, the sun can't be big as the earth.
No. It's actually smaller.
Huh?
It's actually smaller.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So if the moon and the sun are the same size, that tells that lie.
Yeah, well, who measured them? That's what I want to know. Now, you look at, for instance, I got this from Yahweh Song when he's stationed over there in Kuwait. He said when the moon came out, it filled the whole landscape, and it was huge. So I'm looking at, you cannot measure the size of that moon, or even the sun, from certain vantage points on the earth. Because the same time that the moon is going across Kuwait, the sun is still up on our side of the world, right? But when we finally see the moon, it's way up in the sky. It's really small. Right? But in Kuwait is right there on the earth. It's starting to rise up. You've seen it.
It looks different over there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but during like not necessarily twilight, but at this sunset, you can actually see the sun in the sun spots.
Mm-hmm.
Move, but that was years, and it looked like it was closer. And I was like, and it would like it'll make you think like, okay, something ain't right. So I mean, but you grew up in a doctrine that's telling you, hey, the sun is 80 million miles away, and that's what you believe because that's all you were taught until you see something different and that make you question it. So when they already tell you the sun is this big and it weighs this much. So that's what they tell you. They already got a measurement of what the sun is and how big it is and how much it weighs because it's made out of helium. But I digress. I'm just saying, yeah, it's a science to it. They got a science to lie.
No, these are white people, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, they
that's
the
a
truth.
science to lie.
You better believe it.
But that's what they say though, because the sun and the moon is round, the earth must be round too.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Why is that reflective on the other? I mean, just because the sun and the moon may be round, but what does that mean for the earth? How do they know the earth is round?
That's what they use. Someone say that.
Nah, man, this whole world been corrupted, bro. Everything's a lie. But nevertheless, the moon. Now they say that the moon is close to 300,000 miles away, right? I think it's about 285,000 miles away. Now you remember back in 1969 when they first went to the moon. How long did it take for them to get there?
Was it months or something?
I'm thinking it might have been a month.
A month?
Yeah. So it takes you a month to fly 280,000 miles. Something wrong with the calculation.
Right.
Right. This is back in 1969, right? So the technology wasn't cutting edge technology back compared to today. So, for instance, they went to the moon and it came back. And somebody was left on the moon to videotape them leaving. Nobody thinks in those terms, man. And then, for instance, those Land Rovers, they were riding on them. How'd they get them up there and how'd they get them back? See what I'm saying? So it was a con game from the very beginning.
How they get the gas to come back?
Yeah.
Where they get all their gas from? They had to take
Yeah. How'd they get back? Then they run out of gas when they got there? Or did they think about that at all?
They had Teslas.
Oh,
Yeah,
they had Teslas back then.
Yeah, they didn't tell us about it.
Yeah, that's when secret Teslas, I guess. Tell us nothing.
You say that 280,000 miles?
I think it is. If you Google it, you might find it. But
How
yeah,
much fuel that would take to go that far?
yeah, and then come back.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
That's over half.
Because they need rocket boosters to send. They have 2 rockets on the side, then to leave this atmosphere, and then once you get there, you're gonna have to return. So you need 2 more rockets, but you don't have but 1 ship.
Cause the boosters drop off.
Yeah, the
That's
boosters
what they
drop
show
off,
us.
'cause
The
you need a
boosters
booster to
drop
get
off,
up, yeah.
and it is just the ship. So how do they boost off from?
Yeah, from where?
It's
One
impossible.
more question about that is, haven't we been taught that the space is a vacuum? Well, how did fire catch on fire in space? How they ignite them engines?
but you know what, Elder? What's that thing William Shatner played in?
Star Trek?
They already had your mind tuned with that.
That's what I'm saying.
Lost in Space and Star Trek. So
Yeah.
when they pulled that con, they didn't have no problem letting people believe.
People's mind was already on it.
Right.
Right. So,
And then, like you said, John F. Kennedy, he said that when he was in office, 2 years, right? shortest term for president, he said, we got to beat the Russians to the moon.
Yeah,
They had that thing in minds of people.
yeah. They knew they couldn't do it, so they came up with that lie. It was a big lie too, because some folk actually believe my white folk been to the moon, and then the president of America called them up about how they was up there. So, and one know the latest signal that they talk about like they sit next to each other.
And that right there is the only thing that's make people start really thinking, they really believe they've been to the moon. Like,
Yeah.
well, hold on. With these cell phones, you got nowadays, you drive around lose signal, how did he call the moon from a landline? That makes people start to think, but you know,
Yeah.
they believe in the moon, but you know, it's like they still believe, but that makes them, that's the only thing that makes them think that landline. How did he
Yeah.
call the moon from a landline?
Yeah. So the president was in on it too.
They all in on it.
You know, Hollywood always come out with something to let you know that they were lying when they came out with Apollo 13, the movie with O.J. Simpson in it.
Yeah.
And it was based on them faking the moon landing.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised y'all don't know the elder. That movie came out in the 70s.
I was watching movies in the
Yeah,
70s.
it was Apollo 13 was about them faking the moon landing, and they tried to act like they died, and they kept the guys from hiding. But the one of the dudes got away, and he ended up telling that the moon landing was fake, and they was trying to keep it undercover through the whole movie about the deal that the moon landing was fake. They did it in somewhere in Arizona, and yeah. So
No.
yeah, so but Hollywood always throw something out there to let you see, hey, some of this stuff is fake. You know?
Yeah.
You look at that thing, this is a different subject, but remember they had that movie, 24 Hours,
Yeah.
about the black president. They probably was grooming Obama back then. Everybody saying they go home and watch it. What's his name? Dennis Haber, the one that played in the picture, Waiting to Exhale. Okay, well, he was a black president, right? So they had in mind that it was going to be a black president coming along, and here come Obama out of nowhere.
I guess they were preparing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like y'all say that word grooming, they was grooming Obama probably back then.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You don't see what's all going on with these white folks.
No.
And you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Yeah. They're getting to the point now where they just, a lot of people don't even want to hear it.
No.
Because it's so corrupt, so wicked, man, that you just let Yahweh handle that thing, man. He see them. He see what they're doing. But go ahead, Brother Stephen. Pick it up and go for one again.
Revelation chapter 7, verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living Elohim. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our Elohim in their foreheads.
I wonder what them Christians say about this. How do they reconcile their Christianity with this verse here? It says, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the tree, till we have sealed the servants of our Elohim in their foreheads. Well, who is his servants? Let's see. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Revelation chapter 7, verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
It didn't say Christians, it didn't say Muslims, it didn't say Jews. It says all 12 tribes. All these men of the 12 tribes of Israel, they all going to have the Father's name sealed in their forehead. So they guaranteed. Nothing's ever going to happen to them. They don't know who they are, but whoever they are, between now and when Mashiach returns, sets up the kingdom, nothing's going to hurt them. They're not going to die. They're going to be still alive when he shows up. But again, we don't know who they are, and they probably don't know who they are. Or they know who they are, but they're not telling nobody. Now that would make sense, wouldn't it? They know who they are, but they won't tell nobody. Now, some people look at that will say that they say, well, there's women in here too. No. See, you've been in America too long. You think you equal to a man. No, these are all men. When you look that word up, children of Israel, children, it just means sons. It doesn't say sons and daughters. And all through the Bible here, when they talk about the children of Israel, it's talking about the sons of Israel. But the translators decided to use children. I don't know why, but I guess they want to include women in it on too, so they call them all children. But these are all sons of Israel. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Revelation chapter 7, verse 5. Of the tribe of Yehudah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000.
Now, of course, there's something wrong with this lineup, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You see what's wrong with it, Sister Eve? What happens when women get together, man? I mean, they just, by themselves, they're cool. But when the two of them in one room together, and one of them facing the problem, the other gonna help them out.
Eve, all in it, she should know. She was before the children of Israel. She ought to know. She should know that.
Straight out of God, Steve.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah. You told them.
You see anything wrong with the lineup, Sister Eve?
Ephraim and Manasseh?
The 12 tribes of Israel here. Do you see any problem with these names that they give?
I was saying verse 6 was supposed to be, I want to say Ephraim?
Huh?
Ephraim?
Ephraim
Is it Ephraim and
in verse 6?
Yes.
It said the tribe of, which one? Asher or Naphtali or Manasseh? Which one of them is supposed to be Ephraim?
It says Manasseh?
Manasseh?
Yes.
Well, that is Ephraim's brother. But how can Manasseh have, even Ephraim, be part of this, and Joseph is already in the lineup too? I know you know. Help out.
It'll be Dan.
Huh?
It'll be Dan.
Dan's not in there, is it?
Correct.
It should be in place where Manasseh is, shouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure people are learning, retain what they got. So we see the obvious error in the translation of this, in that they left out one of the tribes of Israel that was sealed. Now we proved that there was a mistake by going up into Ezekiel chapter 48.
Mm-hmm.
It talked about the city of Jerusalem with the names of the 12 tribes of Israel on each of the gates. So one of those gates does have Dan's name on it. So they left Dan's name out of the lineup. So I had to put that on the translators, because anybody of the children of Israel would know that that's not right.
And Christianity says that the reason why Dan's not there because Antichrist is coming out of the tribe of Dan.
Oh, man.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Esau said the same, the guy that worked with me, he studied Judaism, and he said that the reason Dan is not in there because they were doing a lot of idol worshiping, and that's the reason they were left out. So yeah. Steve, you know who I'm talking about.
Well, no, I mean, they got
Judaism.
They got Dan in the book of Judges.
Jerry.
And they took an ephah and the idols of Michael, right? And they started worshiping the ephah and the idols up until the time that the Syrians took them out of the land. So they were breaking the law way before they got taken out of the land. But that's what they're doing. They were worshiping idols, Dan. So, but again, they are the children of Israel. So they're not going to leave one of the children out just because most of the 9 tribes are worshiping idols anyway. So then you got Ahab and Jezebel's false prophets. So they was out on that limb anyway.
Well, could nothing happen to Dan because Yaakov blessed all them boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he bless them, why is Dan's name would be omitted? No more than the redactment. He made a mistake.
Yeah.
It's just like, what tribe the war, the almost got wiped out? Benjamin? The almost got wiped out? And he always said, no, I mean, at least you wipe out the tribe of Benjamin or something like that.
Had to go get them women.
Why would you allow
Right.
Dan not to be the other end? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like the way they repopulated. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about a thing, just grab it and go.
Right.
Grab it and go.
That's right.
We on the internet, Brian. I may have children on here, Brian. I gotta be careful. But go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Revelation chapter 7, verse 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our Elohim, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And all the angels stood round about the throne, and about the elders, and the 4 beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces, and worshiped Elohim, saying, Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our Elohim forever and ever. Amen. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of Elohim, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. Verse 16. They shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. But the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them unto living fountains of waters, and Elohim shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
So we're looking at all these people that got saved in that great tribulation. That they did not die. So a multitude of people, not necessarily just particular people, just a multitude of different nations upon the earth that came through that great tribulation. What it's saying here, if you notice, in verse 15 it says, Therefore are they before the throne of Elohim, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. Now, this has to be during the time, the 1,000 years of the Mashiach's kingdom. Because on that new heaven and new earth, there will be no temple. It'll be the new city of Jerusalem, but there will be no temple on that new earth. This here says there's a temple. they're going to serve him in that temple, right? And it says, they shall no more, they shall hunger no more, neither thirst anymore, neither shall the sun light on them, nor any heat. Now, that scenario is on the new earth. When the new earth, heaven and new earth were created, it said the sun, the city ain't gonna have no need for the sun, right? Well, that's what that sounds like right here. So it's going from the 1,000-year reign of the Mashiach to that new heaven and new earth. And the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them and shall lead them unto living fountains of waters, and Elohim shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. So that fountain of living waters is on the new earth. And also he's going to wipe away all tears. That's on the new earth also. So we're talking about two different scenarios, and that you got people coming out of the Great Tribulation, and then those that come out of that Great Tribulation will be in that 1,000-year reign of the Mashiach. But he's going to lead them to that new earth, that new heaven and new earth. So again, we got two different visions in the same chapter here of that new heaven and that new earth. Let me see here. Do I want to get started on this? Yeah, let's try it. Let's just at least do chapter 8.
Revelation chapter 8, verse 1. And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour.
Hold on, Steve. Now, why would there be silence in heaven for half an hour? Those I asked him. I asked you.
Yeah. Well,
why is that silence in heaven for half an hour?
Ain't no black women. They've been kicked out.
He's so silly.
They've been kicked out.
See, heaven can finally have peace. But it's just for half an hour though, Steve.
They kicked them
That's
out.
the best they can do.
Wigs and eyelashes, kicked it all out.
Afro Sheen.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Revelation chapter 8, verse 1. And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. And I saw the 7 angels which stood before Elohim, and to them were given 7 trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne.
So now we understand why Yahweh set up in the law for the priest to burn incense for the Holy of Holies, because that incense represented the prayers of the saints, right? But if you remember, the incense that the priest used was a special kind of incense, had certain ingredients in it in order to be, for it to qualify to be burnt before the Holy of Holies. So the incense that we burn, they're just regular incense, but it's symbolic of what our fathers used to do. And so what we have here, we see the importance. It says that, but look at what it says in verse 4. And the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before Elohim out of the angel's hand. So he's talking about saints' prayer, nobody else. Is somebody talking in here?
That's coming from outside.
I thought maybe those sisters over there. Go ahead.
So Elder,
They roll their eyes at me.
it's against the law to make those ingredients for the incense, right?
Right.
Okay, so but they do have the ingredients that were in.
They had them back then. I bet they still got them today. They just call them by a different name.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they still have those ingredients.
Yeah, so I'm trying to remember if it was okay.
What the ingredients were?
No, I don't. Because I know you burn them there, you sin it. But I was just wondering, was that?
Well, that's why they had the altar burnt offering in the temple, right? So that when you come in and offer up your sacrifice for sin, you'll be right there, and the priest would burn the incense and all those things that go with all that scenario. So we have the Mashiach as our sacrifice, right? So the angel is burning incense here. So if the angels can do it, then we've been given the same thing the angels had to do. Yeah. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Revelation chapter 8, verse 5. And the angel took the censer and filled it with the fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. And the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up.
Now, keep in mind now, all this has to occur within 3.5 years. All right? So right now what we have in the first trumpet, it says the first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. The third part of the trees were burnt up, and all the green grass was burnt up, right? So that's the trumpet. Remember what the purpose of the trumpet is to sound the alarm, right? So the alarm has been sounded, the first trumpet making the sound, it's been alarmed that something's coming. Danger is coming. It's supposed to alarm you to be prepared for the danger to come. Mm-hmm. So let's go to Revelation 16 and see what happened after the first trumpet is blown. Read Revelation 16, verse 1 and 2.
Verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, Go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of Elohim upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image.
So we have the trumpets being blown, a sounding that the third part of the trees will be burned up, and all the green grass will be burned up. When the vials are poured out, noise and disease gonna come upon the men that take the name, number, and mark. Let's go back to chapter 8, Brother Stephen.
Revelation chapter 8, verse 8. And the second angel sounded, and as it were, a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood, and the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed.
All right, now let's go to, that's the second trumpet, sounding an alarm. Let's go back to chapter 17, Brother Stephen, and read verse 3.
16 and 17.
Revelation 16, verse 3. Verse 3, yeah. Again, you have the trumpets being blown and the vials being poured out. Again, the trumpet warn you something bad's about to happen. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of a dead man, and every living soul died in the sea.
So, back when the trumpet was blown, look at what happened. That second trumpet, and the second angel sounded, and as it were, a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the seas became blood, and the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. So it's the third part in the trumpets, but it's all of it in the vial being poured out. Let's go back to the third trumpet, Brother Stephen.
Revelation chapter 8, verse 10. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter.
Whatever this was, it parted the waters, right? It says, and the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of that star is called Wormwood, and the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. Now let's go back to chapter 16 and pick up that third vial. That was the third trumpet. Let's pick up the third vial.
And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the water say, Thou art righteous, O Adonai, which are and was and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy. And I heard another out of the altar saying, Even so, Adonai Elohim Almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments.
So we had a third, and the third trumpet sounded, and the third part of the water became as wormwood. So now it says in the third vial, it says, poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of water, and they became blood. So again, we're looking at basically the same thing. That Russian nuclear plant called Chernobyl. You know what Chernobyl means? What it?
Wormwood.
There you go. Wormwood. Go ahead, Brother Stephen. Let's go back to Revelation 8.
Revelation chapter 8, verse 12. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels, which are yet to sound.
Now let's go to Revelation 16 again. Look at that fourth vial. That was the fourth trumpet. Now let's look again. It's warning the people about something very terrible about to come upon them. So let's pick up that fourth vial and verse 8 and 9, Brother Stephen.
And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat, and blasphemed the name of Elohim, which have power over these plagues, and they repented not to give him glory.
All right, so now again we see the aftermath of the fourth trumpet being blown, and the vial is poured out after that. Now all this got to be done in 3.5 years. So we don't know time. We don't know the timeline of the trumpet nor the timeline of the vials of Yahweh's wrath, but it's all got to be completed in 3.5 years. Okay. I'm going to stop right here because the rest of this chapter 9 and all this is a lot to talk about, and I'm not going to have enough time to finish up what I would talk about. So before we dismiss, does anyone have any questions?
Chapter 8, verse, when you talk about the stars.
What verse?
Verse 12.
Verse 12?
Yeah. So we know the stars mainly be talking about angels, so right there in that verse right there, what would it be representing?
It says, and the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and night likewise.
You know what I'm saying? We know that normally that the stars represent different angels, right? So right here in this verse, when you talk about the third part of the stars being smitten, what does that represent?
It says, let's read that again. It said, the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten. Right? So a third part of the sun, that means a third part of the day will not have any sun in it. And the third part of the moon, same thing, and the third part of the stars, the same thing. At certain points, when they're up in their brightness, they're not going to stay up in that brightness as long as they used to.
Okay.
These are not angels. Well, these are not talking about the angels that we're talking about. But these are always going to be there. But just that it's going to be so catastrophic that you're not going to see the the sun for a third part of the day and the moon for a third part of the night and the star for a third part of the night.
Okay, so the stars are just like regular stars. They ain't no talking about angels in that.
No, just again, these are the trumpets of destruction. Right, so just warning them that look at the sky. Some of them things ain't gonna work like they used to. Right, so that again, that is the trumpet being blown, and the vials are being poured out after the trumpet is being blown. Does anyone else have any questions?
I got another question.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, from yesterday.
Oh,
Hebrew chapter 6, verse 17 to 18.
you're talking about two immutable things?
Yeah, the two immutable things. I think, wasn't you Deacon Shishan that did the class?
Mm-hmm.
What now?
Deacon Shishan had a Deacon class about these verses.
Did he do it?
Yeah, he did it already. Yeah, and the two immutable things, you said something different from yesterday.
I've always said it like that. That the immutable things of his counsel, and that he cannot tell a lie. I've always said that.
I think the last time we were saying that it was he can't tell a lie, and it was out of the promise of the blessings, or we said it was just the oath.
The what now? Say
The
it again.
oath. It was the oath. The first one was he can't tell a lie, and the second one was the oath.
Okay, yeah, it's saying the same thing.
It's the same thing, but
Yeah.
I see that sound, that make more sense.
Yeah.
It was his counsel.
It's the same thing.
Because it said that.
Yeah.
I like, okay.
So it's talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're talking about the oath
Mhm.
and immutable counsel. It said the same thing.
Will his counsel be considered law? The law?
What?
Would the counsel,
Two-
would the counsel be considered the law? The commandments, would that be considered the counsel?
His counsel?
Yes.
Um,
What would that consist of? The counsel, that consist of the law and the commandments?
Yeah, you can say that, yeah. Yeah, because you're not gonna hear the voice.
Right.
But he got everything wrote down. It's perfect. So that would be his counsel. Yeah. Anybody else? All right. Let's look at what we got here. Alrighty. I have Brother Abraham on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shalom, Brother Abraham. Shalom, Cujo Goody. Nah. Shalom, Brother Eliyahu. Hope you're feeling better, my brother. Shalom, Elder Alahayim and Mother Malaka. Shalom, Gregory Rucker.
I want to close that.
What is?
Close that door when you go out, sister. There you go.
Did that come from the outside?
I think in the hall.
Or somebody in the hallway?
No, that's that. We got a radio broadcasting
that
over there.
furniture store over
The
there.
furniture stuff. They broadcast it in the parking lot.
I hear somebody talking.
That's what that is.
That's the furniture store.
It's the-
Radio.
Yeah.
Well, I may have to tell them. I may have to run them off.
Yeah.
Let's do it for you.
Go. Get
Cody's already looking for them.
Yourself go down there and
They
tell
just took the picture off the post office, bro.
Peter do it for
They
you.
don't listen to yourself.
Last time you said that, now them folk came back with the building people trying to.
Yeah, man, yeah.
You better leave that alone.
Made things worse.
Yeah.
Shalom, Brother Edra. Shalom, Shamayam Yasharala Elder. Shalom, Brother McAnderson. Shalom, one M. Shelton. Shalom, Elder Hiram. He says, Elder, something was said about me when we was being dismissed. Did Zach know what was said about me? Elder Hiram. Do you know anything about this? Let me read it again. It says, something was said about me when we was being dismissed. Deacon Zach know what was said about me.
Yeah, Zach ain't here.
It's news to me, Elder. I did not know, but I don't think it's anything serious, though. I mean, you're well beloved in the congregation. Shalom Takare Knight said, I was working on the Shabbat. I missed the Shabbat service. I think it's up on our website, ain't it? Around what you call it? What it? What do you go on the website to pull up our class?
Odyssey.
Odyssey. That's I couldn't think of it. Odyssey. It's Odyssey. Okay, yeah, Brother Knight, you can go to Odyssey, and you can pick up the class. All our classes are on Odyssey. Shalom, Brother Ezra. During yesterday's Shabbat class, we discussed how there we two kingdoms, and neither would be in heaven. After Yeshua's 1,000-year reign, what will happen to his kingdom? It's going to be burnt up. The whole earth is going to catch on fire because she served a purpose. So Yahweh, it's got too much blood and death on this earth, so Yahweh created him a new heaven, a new earth to take this earth's place. So yeah, it's going to be burnt up. His kingdom will be burnt up. I'll tell you what, let's go to Matthew chapter 13. In Matthew chapter 13, he's given parables about the kingdom of heaven. This is in Matthew 13 and verse 33. He says, another parable spake he unto them, the kingdom of heaven is like unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 members of meal till the whole was leavened. If you understand what the word leaven means, what it represents, sin, right? It says until the whole was leavened. So the whole world will have to be burned up because the whole world will be full of sinful folk getting ready to be thrown on the lake of fire. So that's what's going to happen to the Mashiach's kingdom. He's going to have a new kingdom on the new earth. So we don't know how that's going to work out. You got 2 thrones sent on that new earth. We don't know how that's going to work out. It's not explained in the Bible, so if you're not going to make it, ain't no need you knowing it. I hope that helped you out, Brother Ezra. Shalom, Susie Garman. Shalom, Sister Rachel. Shalom, Elder Mick. Shalom, Lonely Red Wolf. Shalom, Mother Kia. Elazar and Mother Kia. Shalom. Shalom, Elwin. Shalom, Melinda Curry. Let's see here. Lonely Red Wolf. Shalom. Shalom, Elder Hiram. Shalom, Brother Kevin Burtz. Shalom, Mother Marsha. Shalom, Brother David. Shalom, Elder Tobiah. Shalom, Isha, right? Shalom, Sister Neriah. Shalom, Sister Hadassah. Shalom, Morning Crisp. Shalom, Brother Benaiah. Shalom, Yirmiyahu. You're right about that, my brother Yirmiyahu. The Muslims make up a lot of noise and cause a lot of damage. You're right but wrong. Shalom, Isaiah. I think that's Isaiah. Shalom, Shechem ben Israel. I think I pronounced his name. Shechem ben Israel. Yeah. Shalom, Elder Azariah. Shalom, Neil the P. Shalom, Levi the Believer. Shalom, Brother Ezra ben Israel. I sent you a video before this morning class that was eye-opening. It busts up the flat Earth and explain why the Van Allen radiation belt is there. Make sure Otis see this.
He said bust up the flat earth or round?
He said flat here.
He said bust up the flat earth.
It busts up the flat Earth.
I think he wanted to put round though.
Okay.
And he made a mistake. I ain't hard to believe that. I just said, I'm just saying what we was taught.
We were all taught.
But I'm just allowed to let it go. Yeah, that's
Shalom, Sister Tamika Yisrael. Brother Israel said, more proof that we can't leave and that there is a firmament up there is the fact that we can hear planes high in the sky. If that wasn't a firmament, it would be impossible to hear the planes. That's true. And we can see them too, in most cases. Shalom, Yahoo said 3 levels to heaven, and so they managed to pass our atmosphere, do battle with them angels, the ones bring light to the earth, 2 level battle with them archangels, 3 level I thought you mean holy. Yahweh's throne. Wow. All right. My white look serious. LOL. All right. Shalom, Brother Kemuel. Shalom, Ezra in Israel. Driving rideshare in Vegas. I had that Brother Dennis Haysbert in my car. Elder Stephen was right. He said they were getting the world ready for Obama.
Mm-hmm.
You know this guy, Haysbert?
Yeah, he's an actor. You know, he was a playboy in that movie called Waiting to Exhale. And
oh, you know him too?
I know who you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
And he played in 24 Hours. The president had a counselor, somebody in his cabinet was another black guy. Didn't say, you know him if you saw him.
I stopped watching TV a long time ago.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's back when you was watching.
I never heard that guy.
You heard him.
Haysbert?
Yeah, you heard him.
I know Sammy Davis Jr. I'm sorry.
I know who you're talking about, but I didn't know his
see
name.
him,
If you saw him, you'd know.
Yeah, okay.
Because, man, you was young back then when that thing came on, 24 Hours.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a third temple? Yeah, they're working on it now. A mother. That's the one that the man's going to stand up and say he's God. But Esau's got to build that temple. Shalom, Brother Malachi. Shalom, morning, Chris. Revelation 8, verse 1. I did not hear the answer for the silence in heaven for a half an hour. Thanks for the answer.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I don't need to step out that door, do I?
Yeah.
Get my butt.
Either way, I'm going out the back door, you go out the front door. We'll be all right.
So Elder, when it say that verse 1, what he just talking about, that half an hour doesn't necessarily mean half an hour with our time, does it?
Is it the same up in heaven?
I wouldn't think it would be, but when you say half an hour, we think half hour, like 30 minutes, but half an hour in heaven, would that the same type of timing?
We got a timeline on this now. Keep in mind, we got 3.5 years, so it's got to find a sequence of events that measure out to 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's half an hour up in heaven, it doesn't affect the timeline of 3.5 years.
Mm.
Yeah, so all that stuff is going to happen to the earth in 3.5 years. It didn't say anything about heaven.
No, I tried to measure one time. It got kind of complicated. As you take 1,000 years, that's a day.
Yeah, you would. Yeah,
That's what I was thinking about. If
I
you
know.
do it like that.
So yeah, you would think a half hour might mean 500 years or something. But again, that takes us out the timeline.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would be too long. We're like, nah.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Steve provided the answer. Shalom, Brother Alahayim, Ben Yasharala. Another great teaching. Praise Yah. Shalom, Brother Moshe. Good to hear from you. Shalom. Let's say, praise Yah. Here's asked my second question about the two immutable things. And that's how the Spirit rolls. Let's see here. Zachariah Shalom. I think that's Zach. Is that Zach?
I think it is.
Yeah. Shalom, Brother Zach. Shalom, Clarence Marks and Sister Yulita. Brother Clarence Marks and Sister Yulita. Shalom, Sean Berry. Shalom, Elder Ezekiah. Praise Yah. Shalom, Mikael. Could this be Yah's plan of replacing the fallen angels with Israelites, which was the plan from the beginning? Being as though Yah is all-knowing, could he plan the replacement prior to Genesis 2? No, we're not the same kinds of people. First of all, angels are created. We are born. They're not the same kind. So we can't replace the power of an angel. We're still flesh. And you're not going to have any more strength than you got now when the kingdom of heaven is set up. The only thing different between what we are doing now is it's a timeline. In the kingdom of heaven, you'll be able to live 1,000 years. On that new heaven and new earth, you'll be able to live forever. But that's all the far it goes. We're not going to be replacing any angels, because how are you going to replace angels who cannot die? And they might be talking about the fallen angels, yeah, but they're going into the lake of fire. But nevertheless, we can't replace something that Yahweh created. We haven't been created, we have been procreated. Let's see here. What is an example of spiritual purging, leavening from oneself? Spiritual purging is keeping the law. Simple as that. So the law keeps you from sinning, right? The law is a light. So with all that, it's not like you're going to completely purge yourself, because you purge yourself by praying for forgiveness. So that would be a form of purging, asking for forgiveness. Brother Bernard said, it never fails Matthew 13. I was just reading and discussing this with my children yesterday. They made me read the entire chapter after explaining to the disciples, asking why do he speak in parables, and also many righteous men and prophets have desired to see and hear the thing that they were privileged to see to do so. So yeah, we just went up in Revelation, Matthew 13. Praise Yah. That's how the Spirit works. Shalom, T-Pat. Praise Yah, thank you. Is there a need for a temple during the new heaven and new earth? Well, let's look and see. Let's go to Revelation and see. Revelation 20:21. In verse, again, this is a new heaven and new earth, right? In verse 22, in chapter 21 of Revelation, it says, and I saw no temple therein. It's talking about the new city, Jerusalem. For the Adonai Elohim Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. So again, we're not talking about a building here. We're talking about the actual living being in that temple.
I know it doesn't say, but with the other nations have a temple, there's going to be no temple period on the whole.
But this only mentions the new city of Jerusalem. So they're going to be bringing a GPS, gross national average wealth into the city. So I imagine they'll be bringing to the Mashiach and Elohim Almighty. Yeah. But if they're going to bring in a wealth, that means the new earth is going to have a business atmosphere. It's not all going to be theological. So you're still going to carry on business. So it ain't like you just sitting around waiting on, don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So that's the answer to that, mother. It's on that new earth there won't be no temple, but Elohim and the Mashiach will be the temple. Shalom, brother Eliyahu. I used to watch Perry Stone time to time. He was investigated by the FBI for sexual misconduct, harassment, gulping, etc. by 11 people, 9 of them women. He was accused 2 different times, one in 2020. He did confess. He threatened suicide later. He was later acquitted of the charges. Dennis Haysbert is the All-State man.
Yeah, that's more
The
recent.
Allstate guy.
Yeah, that's more recent. Yeah.
Who's that?
The Allstate insurance commercial.
What about it?
The black guy be in the insurance commercial.
What about it?
With the deep voice. That's who Dennis Haysbert. That's who Dennis Haysbert.
He don't watch television.
That's the Haysbert guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one that they may try to make president?
No.
In the movie?
Yeah, the same guy.
So he's saying Dennis Haysbert is the All-State man since 2003 in commercial.
That's him.
Oh, like I said, I don't watch
He don't
television.
watch
Too much money.
Got the deep voice.
I never heard it. Shalom Nakia. How do you interpret the relationship between the church and the nation of Israel? We try not to use that term church because we know the etymology of that word, so we use the word congregation. The congregation as relationship to the children of Israel is that they will be part of us too. If you remember in Ezekiel 46, that there will be strangers in our land who will have inheritance among the people in the land of Israel. We also are going to have set up communities in other people's lands, so that we'll be ruling all those people in those lands. But Israel will be the head, but the whole world would be start keeping the commandments and start believing in Yahweh as the only true and living God. And these people that between the relationship between the people that believe in the Messiah and the children of Israel is that we're going to be ruling over them. Okay, we're going to be known as a nation of priests and a holy nation. Brother Bless and I are in the same page. This is why I asked about temple in the new heaven and new earth.
What page we on?
I don't know.
You're on the same page. Not in there. On the same page.
I don't have anything after that.
That's it, though.
Okay. Oh, good question, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down. Hold on, somebody showed up here. Brother Ezra, great class. My mistake, as I meant the video I sent bust up the round earth. Okay, appreciate that, Brother Ezra. We figured that's probably what you meant. Let me see if I got it though. He said he sent it this morning. Yep, I got it. I ain't seen it yet, but I'm gonna check it out. Again,
We read yesterday on Romans chapter 1, verse 20. We were talking about the invisible thing. What is that?
Romans chapter 1.
Yeah, we read when we talk about the invisible thing you clearly seen.
Romans, let's look at that.
We were talking about his creation.
Verse what?
20.
20?
Yeah. When it says
For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. To think that people don't consider how this stuff got here, how the trees and the earth and all that, and the rivers and streams, life in the life itself. There has to be some cause for that.
Right.
So now he's talking about a deity, a God here that caused all that, but they take these things for granted. And so that's why I say they're without excuse. So it says, for the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen. Well, you talk about the creator of all things being invisible, but we see his evidence at work in the things that are made. Even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. So again, we're looking at all the things that are of the earth that we know we can't do. Somebody else did it, and so that would be what that was talking about. The invisible things are clearly seen, right? We don't. I tell you what. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 11. In Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1 to verse 3, it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed, the ages were framed by the word of Elohim, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. I found that a very interesting verse. Because we may be looking at something that's not really what we think it is. Yeah. Maybe looking at y'all. Y'all may not say, might not be who you are.
Yeah. I remember you making that analogy on colors. Do we see colors the same way?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Is his red the same red as what I see? Right. So what you see may not be what I see.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I call that red.
Right. It makes sense, 'cause like the saying they always say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like what I see might not be what somebody else sees.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you look in the mirror, you see what you look like. But when I'm looking at you, I see what you look like.
It might be something
It
different.
might be two different people. It takes you to another level of thinking. So you don't get boxed up and be complacent with everything, because what they said that you can't look at everything and just take it for granted. You got to look at it a little bit deeper.
I remember one time me and the elder, we were sitting out there and we were looking at boxcar, and I'm saying, I think I'm saying it was white. The elder said, man, that thing blue.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
But I was sitting there making a fool out of myself. Oh, no, it's white. But I'm colorblind. I don't see colors real good.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I went to the doctor years and years ago. Now I can tell red, black, basic stuff, but when we got off in those pastel colors, no, I can't. I'm not very good at identifying.
There it is right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any Israel? Yeah. Shalom, elder family. Love you all. May Yahweh keep you all. Yahweh and see you on the upcoming holy days. Be glad to see you, my brother. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. Facebook, YouTube. We have a history class coming up this third day, and I think the 31st of this month is on a Tuesday night. Am I right?
It's Tuesday?
Tuesday night.
Okay.
So that'll be a week after next, and that'll be the Passover.
Okay.
That's Tuesday night.
Okay. Okay, so join us on our history class this coming third day, and join the sisters class the third day at 8 o'clock, and join the sisters class on the fifth day at 8 o'clock, which is Thursday, and then our Sabbath service. And after that, we will be getting coming into our holy days. So hopefully, y'all, all the people that are on our page here, we pray that maybe you show up and celebrate the holy days with us. As always, Yahweh bless you and keep you. Shalom.